Hi again, Andy here. Finishing up with our deep dive into part modeling and sketching as an introduction to how to make things. As I said, we've been making kind of random, not very utilitarian things, but I wanted to introduce you to some of the most common tools that you'll use. So take this as just a quick summary now I'm going to go through of what we've done. So this is what we finished up with this crazy part with a ring through the edge of it. So just let's walk quickly through and see what we've actually been doing. You've learned about the feature tree as a key thing, that everything you create in modeling a part will show up as a different feature, and each of these are called separate features on the feature tree. And you can roll back the feature to eliminate it, even the original feature, as far as you like in the feature tree. When you do roll it back, of course, it will need to be rebuilt before it's happy again. And you see here I rolled this back and now it's got a stop and go light showing for that original thing. You can right click on it and see what's going on with it. You can click the rebuild button at the top. Often that doesn't actually do anything, I find. You can open up the sketch and close it again. You can open up the part and save it again. And usually one of those things will take that rebuild thing away. You can also go and save it. And that will usually save it. That will usually fix it. So for instance, I'll go back, I roll this back, roll it up again, and we show that those are needing to be rebuilt. Well, if I go save as, I'm going to call it ring thing, and it will save it to whatever folder location that I choose. If I was doing this for a serious part, I wouldn't be putting it on my PC desktop. I'd be actually making up a file folder for all the relevant parts. I'm just going to save that. And usually when you save it, it rebuilds stuff. Didn't that time. We'll try rebuilding again. There. Don't worry about weird stuff like that, but make sure that when you see strange things like that, it's telling you you need to rebuild. So basically, we've gone through some various different ways of editing. You know now that each of these features, for the most part, are driven by sketches. There are some features that aren't driven directly by a sketch, like the filleting. If we add a fillet, yes, it wants us to pick an edge. It's not going to like a 10 millimeter fillet there. It'll pick a 3 one, and then it'll show. And that feature, you'll see there's no down arrow beside it, so there isn't a sketch that's driving that per se. It's a solid element of the part. You can also see that each of the sketches, you can edit them as much as you like. And what I encourage you to do to make your models robust and easy to work and good is to start thinking about creating the first sketches with as much detail as you can. And then if you want to add more things to them as your model geometry evolves, you can add that to the sketch. I'm going to add another hole here, like so. Now when I do that, it automatically added it to the cut. Perhaps there was something else I wanted to do with that and I didn't want it added to the cut. And you know now that you can open up the feature and you can specify which region you do or don't want to have included. I'm going to delete that region and I'm going to pick this. and this. So now the hole that I just drew isn't included in that feature. Perhaps I want to make another ring. I'm going to pick that. Now, of course, same thing. It's done what I had not wanted before. Is it picked everything? I'm just going to select that contour and made that ring. Don't know what this part is. It's kind of weird. It's got these welded circles on it, but the nice thing is you can always go back and change your sketches. So that's my quick summary of what we've done. Everything is sketch driven, and the feature tree tells you what's going on. The shorter the feature tree, the more robust the model. And that's what I've seen over the years in terms of lots of different CAD models. The more you can embed in terms of detail and design configuration in the initial sketch, the more robust the model will be as well. So keep that in mind. Don't shy away from adding all the detail you can eventually. Don't need to do it at the start. You can start to build things up with just rectangles and whatnot, and then you can get more fancy. But keep in mind that everything is editable and everything will eventually break. And then if you can practice some of these good interrelationship rules, then that will help you in making sure that things are as robust as you can make them. Dimensions are a good thing. And you want to put those dimensions in sketches if at all possible. And those things will be reflected in the finished product. That's all for now. Thanks for going through this deep dive. I hope it helps as you're trying to make complicated parts. We'll carry on in the next series of videos with doing some actual things that are similar to what you're going to be asked to make in Engineering 1210 and Engineering 1220. So practice these things and then we'll get back to it. Thanks for watching.